it's a pleasure meeting you.
Sure. Good to have you.
We didn't have the chance to chat.
No, we didn't. There was some sort of a restraining order, I believe.
Yeah, around me.
No, I'm not allowed to be too close to you.
Too close to you, yeah. This was a wrong information, I can
so
tell
it's
you.
bad information.
Yeah, okay.
When you have a screenplay or when they serve you a story.
So, are you thinking about downshifting sometimes? You mean
What is that? What do you mean by that?
Downshifting is.
Well, I think anybody who's a parent here will understand that, which is, at some point, the great concern is that your child will look at you and say, is it true that these things were going on? Now, maybe these things were going on your street or in your town, or maybe they were going on in the country. And if you had some ability to do something about it, what did you do? And so I've always felt a great responsibility to our kids about saying, well, at least I was in the fight. We may have failed a lot, but at least we were in the fight. And that's the important part. It's really important to, jump in with both feet and see what you can do. Because Amal had her own world that she was working on, and she's been a human rights lawyer for a long, long time, and almost everything she does is pro bono. So she, her work has always been sort of right down, going right after the bad guys, and I've always enjoyed kind of that version, and it just sort of worked out that both of us had the same interests in that world. It's not all we do, but it is a big part of it.
Having achieved.
Very involved in what. My kids are 6, and they handle all of the technology better than I do. But it's a tricky thing for me because I'm still trying to learn languages. English, for instance, is one I'm trying to learn.
But you're doing fine.
Yeah, I'm learning.
I can understand you.
Yeah, sehr gut. But I haven't learned, I'm not doing very well. And so, yes, I pay attention to it, but it is intimidating. I think that, I'm 62, I think that people in my age group are more intimidated than much younger people in getting into it. And it's much more exciting watching the young generation of kids working in our foundation. And what they're able to do is really fascinating, particularly in being able to follow and trace war crimes, which is, it's something that's been oftentimes in the shadow, and everything is better with sunlight being the best disinfectant. Okay, we hear a lot of the downside of AI, of facial recognition, a lot of things that are scary, and the Uyghurs certainly have a good argument against. Look, when I was a kid, my parents, who are still around, they're still giving me a hard time. My parents always said to me, you have one responsibility when you grow up. And there was only one. They said, is to look out for people with less power than you and to challenge people with more power. And if you just do that in your life, and that's all you accomplish, you'll have had a successful life. And I believe in that. My whole heart, I believe in it. So yeah, there's a responsibility. We all have it. And you guys do the same thing. Your parents out here, you have kids. We're all responsible, and we do what we're capable of doing. If it's for our children, our family, our parents, our friends, we all are doing everything we can as best we can. And so I'm lucky enough to have been given a position that I could gather a few more people together and pick some fights with some bad guys.
You don't want lip gloss from me. It's just the worst lip gloss you've ever tried in your life.
So I might take.
When I first got into the industry, there were 2 movie stars that I knew, that I was friends with, that handled sort of the highest level of stardom in the best way possible. It was Paul Newman and Gregory Peck. And they were my friends. And they really sort of taught me sort of a good way through on how to handle success.